Hello everyone, it's 2025 and I have reflected on my life. I chose this spot for this video because behind me I have a big pile. We're gonna go to the recycling bin. On the right side of me, I have a lot of stuff. We're gonna go to the charity shop or because it's decluttered. On the left side of me, I have a box with things who is decluttered. Behind me here, I have craft supplies that I decluttered. And on the side of me, I have the foot bath I get from my husband that didn't work the last time my son tried it out. So I'm gonna try it. And if it's not work, I'm gonna recycling this. And I chose this spot because I want to talk about overwhelming parts. I feel so overwhelmed right now. I feel I have no control over my life right now. And if you are new at decluttering, I should say to you, take the stuff out directly so you don't sit in your home and sit there permanently. But I have done this for 20 years, so I know that all of this stuff gonna go out from here. But right now it's just a little bit too much, and I use my daughter's room or her room she had when she lived home. I use this as a garbage room. I'm a minimalist and I live after the slow living or simple living lifestyle. To have it chaos like this is not something I do so often, but right now behind me is just a big pile of a mess. The reason why I haven't taken out the things I decluttered in December is because I always give this stuff away to a store who is not in my city. So I want to collect the car full before I go there. I don't want to go to the other city just for one bag, and therefore I don't go directly. But this behind me, I need to take it out. My sister always say to me, how can you still have stuff to declutter? And to be honest, I be surprised with myself sometimes when I find stuff to declutter. But I think the reason why we find all the things is because my son is growing. He's 8 and he grow a lot. So the most stuff I have here, this is stuff that he grew out from, clothes and toys. He don't play so much with toys anymore. He's more into football, floorball, and play games. And I think that's the reason why we always find more to declutter, because I don't bring so much new stuff into the house besides food. And with that come also a lot of packages. So many things behind me here is also just food boxes. And the big box is from my share I get for my birthday, who I have in another video. But when it comes to decluttering, I have started to ask myself, who am I the last times I have decluttered? And I also have a separate video there where I have my shoes on the front side. This is not still me, so I need to declutter it. And I also did that with the craft supplies, because this, I have been thinking to declutter this for maybe 2 years, but it was hard for me to know. But I just come to the point that doing that crafting thing I did before, it's not me anymore. This have sit so many years now without me touching it, so it was time. And you also find another video from December about that if you want to look for this. But back to the thing I have reflected on. I think the problem I have with me feeling overwhelmed right now is because I have so much mess in my head. It's so much going on at the same time. I feel I'm everywhere. And I feel that's the thing in my head. I have so much mental clutter in my head. And also I have a lot of clutter in my computer, and I have to see my computer every day because I study on my computer. I think my problem is the mental clutter and the clutter on my computer. Because this in the room, actually, I sort this through. The thing I feel is that my head is not sorted. I can't sort my thoughts and feelings. And you know you have a lot of things to do, but you procrastinate because you don't know where you're gonna start. I feel I'm there right now. I know what I have to do, but I can't get myself to do it. And it's really, really hard. And I think there's the mess in my head, and that's also the information who come the whole time. Now when I study, I have to take in a lot of information. It's a lot new things to learn. I never get a chance to rest my brain. And I think another big part of this is all the email. For my private email, I get around 500 email every week who tell me I have to buy from their company. Or they beg me to buy from their company with different discount and this. And if I'm gonna be honest with myself, I don't buy so much. Besides books for school, because we have to have them when we go to the course. But everything else, I think that through, and many times I have think that through for many months. And I know what I have to do. That I need to unsubscribe, and I need to be harder with myself, because I have unsubscribed from email this year, but I think I was not hard enough. I have to take away everything, every company that I don't buy from on a regular basis. This year, 2025, have to be the year. My last year, I have decided for that. My last year where I feel that mental clutter take over my head. I'm gonna take control over this. And for some people should maybe say just drop it. Don't think of it. But it's for me, it's like, if I know it's there, I'm gonna think of this. I need to make sure this never come to me. And I also think that deep in our brain, the brain think about it, even if we don't always know about it. Deep inside us, we know we have to take care of it. And with that also, it's not only the email, as I told, it's the computer also. I need to be harder with myself on the email, but I also need to be better to actually organize my computer so it's not messy for me. I think we just, if we never come to the point where it's actually is good, we just don't. Like for example with the dishes. We in this family, we make sure that we always clean the dishes after we eat. Even if it's just 3 pieces after my breakfast, I clean it. And we didn't do that before. And then we had a big pile in the end of the day. And that was overwhelming. But now when I dishes my 3 pieces after my breakfast, it takes me 1 minute? Instead of me in the end of the day have to stand there for 30 minutes when I have to take all the dishes at the same time. So I think if we are on top on the things we have to do, it's not so hard anymore. And I am not on top with my computer and my mental clutter. Do you have something in your life who take away something from you, like something you want to do, because you know you have to do something else? The first book I read when I started to declutter 20 years ago was Declutter with Feng Shui. And that writer, she write about letters she get from other people who read her book, her other books. And one of the letter was from an old couple who told that we want to travel, but every year we say the same thing to ourselves. We can't travel because we have a room full of things we need to go through. And the year passed by and they never traveled because they never come to the point that they have to clean out their room. I don't want to get stuck like this, but I think many people are. I have to walk in here every day because I have my computer here, and I think this stuff around me, especially the things behind me, make me stop from doing other things because this takes up my head. So how do I gonna do to come around this problem I feel I have? And for the first is that I have to make sure to take care of everything I feel is clutter. And one of the things that I'm gonna do to feel that I don't have clutter around me is to be paperless. I'm gonna try to be paperless 2025. And some paper we have to save. But I have, this is quite sick. I don't know if I can show you. I can't even show you. This is paper. This is paper. This is paper. Here is paper. I think if I take this pile up like this, it's a half meter of paper. And I don't even feel done, but I start to be done. And I want to reduce paper because paper for me is clutter. And also it's like a fire hazard. It's easy to get fired if you have a lot of paper. But I want to try to go as paperless that I can go. And a solution for this is that I actually start to take pictures over the paper I need the information on, or I want to save the information on, but I don't actually have to hold on to the regular paper. And then directly I put them into computer to an organized place. So I don't make a problem be good here and make another problem here. I want to fix it from the beginning. So a lot of this paper I took a picture of, not all of them of course, but a lot of them, my old school paper that I want to save the information on. I took a picture of it and I took a folder in the computer and I put them in there and labeled it. So I know where it is if I want the information. Paper come into their home all the time, I know. But I think that if I respond on them directly or take care of them directly and keep up on this also, it should not be so big problem. Right now I have 2 different papers I have to fill information into the hospital, one for me and one for my son. So I put a note for myself that I'm gonna do it tomorrow, because I don't want to put this forward, because then I'm gonna have a lot. And when I have a lot, I overwhelm myself. And of course, one of the things is actually to take out everything in this room that should not be here, that have to go out from the house, who is decluttered or need to go to the recycling bin. Of course, I'm gonna do that. And if I have time for it, I'm gonna take this thing out behind me tomorrow. One of the things is a little away from this, but I think it's really important for the mental clutter, and that's to take care of my health. I need to find another strategy for my health. And I bought, actually now that I'm gonna try, matcha, and this from the aronia bushes. And as it's done here, it's super fruit, it's done. Matcha is like an organic powder that you can make tea of, and it should be really good for the body. And this also should be really good for the body. I have never ever tried any of them before, but I'm really looking forward to actually try them out and see if they are good or not, and if I'm gonna feel a different. And of course I'm not gonna feel a different directly, but I hope they give something good for my body. And I think like this, it's never ever good to change everything at once, because we're gonna get overwhelmed of all the changes we do if we do everything at the same time. But I think it's also good that you have a goal where you want to go, and then you put like small goal on the way to the big goal. And therefore I bought this matcha and aronia because I think that this is a small goal for me to change my health. And back to the email, I just want to say also, I can't just delete everything at once. I even get email there who come from my son's school, for example. So I need to, even if I not open everything, I need to go through them. And that takes time when it's so many. And it's also quite boring task to do. So therefore I want to unsubscribe and don't just delete everything, because I don't want to miss an email I actually need to have the information on. I feel I also have I have a lot project I started 2024 that I want to end. For example, writing my book, start to put together information about leadership. I have a lot of started project and I want to close them. I want to be done with them, because when they are started, I have them back in my head and I know I have to do them, or I want to do them. I want to be done with them. So I'm gonna try my best also to be done with all the projects I started for 2024 and be done with this now in 2025. I'm gonna give myself this 3 first months of this year to be a little messy. Now when I want to fix a lot, and I have write a list of the things that I feel that I want to accomplish, who I think gonna make me stress less after I have accomplished them. And of course my goal is to come to the peace and harmony life that I had and that I want to have. I just feel I'm not on top of the things right now, and therefore I feel this stress and overwhelming feeling. But I have a strategy now to actually fix it. And I think that's really important when we come to the point in life where everything feels hopeless, that we actually put ourselves down, write it down, see what we can do about it. And some of the tasks, I did this morning, I write it down, some of the tasks, and actually as surprised as always I get when I see that, okay, this is just gonna take me 5 minutes. But when we end up putting a lot of 5 minutes task in front of us, it's gonna be overwhelming and a lot. So if you feel like this, sit down, write down everything you want to do, take pieces out from this that you can do directly. If you only have energy for one task on your list is better than no task. And it's also important to don't forget to give ourselves rest. So I'm gonna continue with my yoga and my meditation, which I do every day. So because this not only gives me more health, it also reduces my stress. So if you haven't tried that out, I recommend you to actually do that if you feel overwhelmed and stressed. If you have some suggestions for what you do when you feel stressed and overwhelmed, who is not something I mentioned today, please let me know in the comment. This can help other people out there who see and read it.